Hello everybody, this is Born the Clown, or technically just Justin Russell in this video. Sorry. Yeah, I'm using a mic right now. It's something different, something new. A friend of mine actually let me use this just so I could talk to you using this so you can hear me better. Um, Recently I woke up today and I found out that, well, on top of this person, there's been another person today that has passed on that I've in my entire childhood I've known about, and I just wanted to not really per se talk about it, more like discuss how I feel about these people. Kind of like a tribute, kind of not, um, but it's more like just getting the word out there that for anybody who watches me and knows these people, that if you didn't know, now you know, and give your condolences to their families and whatnot. But I woke up this morning to my mom sending me a message and a Facebook post. Now I thought the Facebook post and the message were connected, and they weren't. The Facebook post ironically had a better influence on my day because it was basically the uh, retelling of how like him and the Powerpuff Girls came to be, you know, which is a wonderful way to wake up your day, you know. But then like I got a text message that Chyna, also known as Joni Laurie, who preferred the name Chyna, had passed away last night in her sleep due to possible drug overdose. Uh, all I can say is, ever since I was little, I grew up with Chyna in the WWF before it became the WWE, and I've always I used to watch her all the time. Me and my mom used to watch her. In fact, we went to a live event whenever she was still with the company, right around the time that they brought in some of the WWE or WCW superstars like Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho. And it is very sad to see somebody that had these struggles and all this type of stuff pass on at such a young age, because she was only 46. And I don't want people, because I hate people that always instigate a fight by saying, well, she died because of this or that, and always bring up her past troubles of any star. And that's not what it's all about. It's all about remembering what this person did, not for her troubles, but just for what they did as a person. Good things that they did or things that they were remembered for. And in the WWE, she was known for being one of the biggest influences for the women's division. She was built like an Amazon warrior, basically. And she was the first woman to be in the Royal Rumble, the King of the Ring. I think she even won the Royal Rumble, but don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure because I don't remember. But she was also the first woman, and I think the only woman, to actually win the Intercontinental Championship, which is huge. It's unheard of. She was brought into the company by Triple H because they were dating at the time, and her and Triple H and Shawn Michaels made the Generation X, which is one of the greatest tag teams in eventual stables that the company had seen for the longest time. And then when she broke up with Triple H because Triple H cheated on her with Stephanie McMahon, she went off and did her own thing, and she became a huge influence on the women's division. And then she became a huge, had this thing with Eddie Guerrero going on, which is another wrestler that has sadly passed away as well. And it is a shame to see somebody like her pass on. And it is even more sad because most likely she won't even end up in the Hall of Fame because of her issues with Triple H and Vince and Stephanie bringing her down. And I know they made somewhat tributes on Twitter, but I don't even believe that they really full-heartedly mean it towards her as a person. Instead, they just want to remember that she was there for the company for the most part. And that's sad. And she most likely won't be in the Hall of Fame, and she deserves it more than Sonny does. And the reason for that she won't be is not only because she was in porn, but all this other stuff. That's ridiculous. But I digress. So seeing her pass on is even worse because even now it hits me harder because I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I mean, a friend of mine really want to go that whenever we become wrestlers because we want to do that. We want to when we get to the WWE, we're like, oh yeah, and this is what we have for our stable. We're gonna have Chyna, you know. We're not gonna tell anybody, but we're gonna have Chyna and Gangrel come back, and all these other superstars that we grew up with, that we loved, come back and help us out. And now her death kind of, well, bluntly dampens that, and it's a loss for everyone that knew her in wrestling, and for everyone that knew her as fans and all that stuff. And my condolences go out to her family and to her friends and to everyone that ever met her and knew her, and how wonderful she was, how great, how funny, how nice she was. And to lose somebody like her is a shame. But even worse is finding out later on, the same day, that one of the hugest icons for music, the artist formerly known as a symbol that went back to his original name, Prince, has sadly passed away as well at the age of 57, which to a lot of other people it hits harder than anything else. And it's something like that when you hear somebody like Prince has passed away, you automatically insinuate, well, he's not dead. How can this be? He's he's so young. And when you find out it's true, it just hits harder. And I think that's what is even more sad, is the fact that we lost two iconic people, and we've lost a lot of stars this year as well. 2016 is a year for big deaths. We lost David Bowie, Alan Rickman, Angus Scrimm, for those of you who have seen the Phantasm series and love that. Doris Roberts from Everybody Loves Raymond. Huh? Oh yeah, no, that was last year. Lemmy from Motorhead died last year. And I mean, we've Frank Sinatra Jr. is another one that has passed away this year, and we've lost a lot of good superstars, or a lot of people, so to speak, this year. And it's hard to imagine who's going to be next because you don't want to imagine it. But when a death like these happen, you think and you are like, well, who is next? Because you're kind of curious. Well, how's life going to take what's life going to do to take another good person away from us, or a person that we remember that we loved away from us? And Prince and Chyna are those that I grew up with, that throughout my childhood I knew, and was raised on. I was raised on Prince music. My mom loves Prince, and she raised me on Prince music, like songs like Get Off, which is probably the worst song that a kid should hear when you're young. Actually, most Prince songs when you're young as a kid you shouldn't hear because of the context. But you're a kid, you don't know any better. And it's just good old-fashioned music that you can move to, or just like sing to. It's just good, like Raspberry Beret, as I said, Get Off, or Purple Rain, I Would Die for You, Little Red Corvette, all those stuff. They are classics of Prince, and he's just a classic man, classic in music, and he was an inspiration to a bunch of stars, and he will be sadly deeply missed. But this isn't about them passing. We should never let a person's passing be what we remember of them. Don't remember them passing. Remember the stars that shine bright. Okay, remember remember the flames, the passion, the charisma they shared with us on screen or through music or whatever talent they've ever done. Through what they shared, their passion, their drive, and them as a person is what we should remember. Not just that they passed. And that's what sadly a lot of us do nowadays, is we think of them just passing and nothing more. And that is sad. We should remember them, you know, and that's just how it is. And I didn't want to do too much because I didn't want to make this video too much long or too much more longer. I just wanted to give my condolences on two childhood icons I remember from my days, and I want my condolences to go out to their family, their friends, and whatnot. And just I wanted to share with the rest of my trapezoids because my friends know I call you them. Inspirations of everyday life on me, or on what I choose to do with my career or my talents. These are inspirations, and these are people I grew up with. And now that they're sadly gone, it makes you wonder. It makes you look back to what they did, want to reclaim the magic, so to speak. And that's what we should do. It's just relive the memories they've given us and keep them in our hearts forever. So, this is Justin Russell signing off to you. I hope that the rest of the day for you guys out there that are saddened by these events, don't let this sadden your day. Don't just let the day shine bright, listening and watching these stars, for what they've done. So I just want to leave it at that and say goodbye and have a wonderful rest of the day.